What if I told you there's a simple switch that could end your fear of conflict for good? For years, you've probably been the nice one, the people pleaser, always backing down just to avoid a tough conversation. You tell yourself it's easier to say yes than to deal with the gut wrenching anxiety of saying no. But what if that identity, the nice one, is exactly what keeps you from the opportunities waiting for you? I'm going to show you a simple switch that will transform you from conflict avoider to conflict communicator who boldly advocates for their values. The agitation, the true cost of avoiding conflict. Real talk? Avoiding conflict doesn't really bring you peace, now does it? It just trades that one kind of anxiety to another. You might dodge the sweaty palms and racing heart of a 5-minute conversation, but you replace it with weeks or even months of resentment and frustration simmering under the surface. At work, this fear can be highly damaging. It's the reason you end up with extra projects you don't have time for, stretching yourself thin while a colleague gets all of the credit. It's why you stay silent in meetings when you have a brilliant idea, only to watch someone else suggest it 5 minutes later and get all of the praise. You try to tell yourself you're not trying to cause drama or make waves, but what if what you're really saying to yourself is that your needs, your time, and your ideas aren't important? This isn't just about a feeling, it can stall your career, keeping you from promotions and opportunities you've absolutely earned and are capable of. And in our personal lives, that cost is even higher. When you consistently sidestep disagreements with your partner and friends or family, you're not preserving the relationship. You're slowly poisoning it with unspoken truths. Every time you say, I'm fine when you're not, you build a tiny wall. Over time, those walls create a fortress of distance. You feel unseen and misunderstood, and the people you love feel like they're living with a stranger. The truth is, healthy conflict is a tool for building stronger, more resilient relationships. It's how we show respect, deepen our understanding, and build real trust. The internal monologue of a conflict avoider is just exhausting. You replay conversations in your head, thinking of everything you should have said. You get that knot in your stomach when an email from your boss or a text from a difficult family member pops up. You're completely preoccupied with what other people might think, and you feel guilty for even thinking about putting yourself first. This isn't peace. The walls around you are self-made, which means you have the power to take them down. The solution, the simple switch. So, what's the big secret here? It's not about learning to be aggressive or being a master debater. It's not about winning every argument. The simple, powerful switch is this: you have to change the goal of the conversation. For years, you have seen conflict as a battle, a zero-sum game where one person wins and the other loses. Your brain, trying to protect you, decided that losing by being disliked or yelled at is a major threat. So it's just safer to forfeit the game before it even begins. The switch is to reframe conflict entirely. Instead of seeing it as a confrontation, start seeing it as a collaboration. The goal is to understand. It's not me versus you, it's us versus the problem. The moment you flip that switch in your mind, everything changes. You're no longer walking into a battlefield. You're inviting someone to a problem solving session. You're not going to make an accusation, you're making a request for clarity. This mental shift drains the emotional charge from the interaction and lets you approach the situation with curiosity instead of fear. A difficult conversation is no longer a threat to your relationship. It's an opportunity to strengthen it. And this isn't just some feel good mantra, it's a strategic advantage. When you approach a conversation with a genuine desire to understand the other person's perspective, they're far less likely to get defensive. It opens up the door for real dialogue, creative solutions and mutual respect. And most importantly, a chance to reach resolution. That's the switch from confrontation to collaboration, from winning to understanding. How to flip the switch, actionable steps. So, knowing the switch is one thing, but actually using it is another. Here are 4 practical steps you can take starting today to make this new mindset your reality. So, step 1, start with low stakes practice. So, you wouldn't try to bench press 300 pounds on your first day at the gym, right? Assertiveness is a muscle. You need it to build up gradually. So, for example, if a coffee shop gets your order wrong, instead of just sighing and drinking it, point it out. You can say, "Excuse me, I ordered an oat milk latte, and I think you might have given me regular milk." If a friend suggests a movie you have zero interest in, instead of nodding along, try saying, honestly, horror movies aren't my thing. How about we check out the new comedy instead? These tiny acts of assertiveness build your confidence. They teach your brain that expressing a preference or pointing out an error doesn't lead to a catastrophe, an argument, or abandonment. Each small win rewires your fear response, making it easier to tackle bigger challenges down the road. So, step 2, master the strategic pause. When you feel that first jolt of conflict anxiety, the racing heart, the tight chest, that's your body's fight or flight response kicking into gear. Your emotional brain is hijacking your rational brain. To take back control, you need to create a little space between the trigger and your response. This is a strategic pause. The moment you feel that emotional surge, consciously do 3 things. First, take one slow, deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. This tiny action sends a powerful signal to your nervous system to calm down. Second, label the emotion. Just acknowledge it to yourself. You can say, "Okay, I'm getting anxious," or "I'm feeling a little defensive." Naming the emotion helps to tame it, moving you from being overwhelmed by the feeling to being an observer of it. Third, use that brief pause to remind yourself of your new goal, collaboration, not confrontation. This pause might only be 5 seconds, but it's incredibly powerful. It stops you from blurting out something you may regret and allows you to respond intentionally with a clear and calm mind. Step 3, deploy the "I feel" statements. The words you choose are critical. The fastest way to put somebody on the defense is to start a sentence with "you," as in, "You always leave the dishes in the sink," or "You never listen to me." This feels like an attack, and the other person is likely to immediately throw up a shield. The solution is to use "I" statements. This simple framework lets you express your needs without casting blame. The formula is straightforward. You say, "I feel" your emotion when the specific objective situation, because the impact it has on you. What I need is a clear, positive request. So let's look at that in action. I feel frustrated when meetings start late because it disrupts our team's workflow. What I need is for us to be on time so we can be productive as possible. Instead of "You never help out around the house," try "I feel overwhelmed and unsupported when I see dishes piled up after a long day. I need us to work as a team to keep the kitchen clean." I statements aren't aggressive, they're assertive. They are undeniable because you're just talking about your own experience. It shifts the focus from the other person's character to your needs, making it easier for them to actually listen and help find a solution. Step 4, prepare for clarity, not combat. Confident communicators don't just wing it in their conversations, but the way they prepare might surprise you. They aren't building an arsenal of arguments to win a fight. They're seeking clarity to solve a problem. So before a big conversation, take a few minutes to get extremely clear on these points. You can even jot them down. So, first, what are the objective facts? Stick to what actually happened, not my coworker is lazy, but my coworker has missed the last 3 project deadlines. 2, how do I feel about this? Use your I feel statements. I feel stressed and worried about the project's success. Number 3, what is my ideal outcome? What would a win win resolution look like? And be specific. For example, my ideal outcome is that we create a shared timeline that we both agree to and can stick to. Number 4, what might be their perspective? Try to step in their shoes even for a moment. This builds empathy and prepares you to listen, not just talk. This prep work calms your nerves because you know exactly what you need to say. It grounds the conversation in facts and a shared goal, turning it into a collaborative effort right from the start. So you just learned that conflict isn't combat, it's a call for collaboration. It's an opportunity for growth, connection, and a deeper understanding. By starting small, mastering the pause, using I statements, and preparing for clarity, you aren't just learning a new skill, you are building a new identity. An identity as someone who is confident, respected, and unafraid to ask for what they're worth. You have the power to change the conversation, both with others and, most importantly, with yourself. But here's the thing: confrontation often shows up most in environments that are already toxic. That's why the next step is so important. In the next video, struggling with a toxic work environment, here's how to cope. You'll learn practical strategies to protect your mental health, manage stress, and stay grounded when the environment around you feels overwhelming. It's the natural follow up because the confidence skills you just learned only grow stronger when you can apply them in the real world in high pressure workplaces. So don't stop here. Click over to the next video and keep building your resilience toolkit.